Big up, everybody. Welcome back to TJ Warren TV. Welcome back to your favorite early evening UK, midday USA show. Whether you like it or not, it is your favorite show. I know it's my favorite show for Thursday because I get to talk footy with my guy, Connor. Connor, dude, this club, man. So I was going watching old videos today, right? Just a little bit, just some old videos, and I've seen that my hairline has gone like retreated, and I'm positive of this football club.
Yeah,
I'm positive, dude, because that's the only thing that's changed is between February 23 and now. It's me starting this YouTube channel and like getting granular with this football club, bro. Are you stressed? First of all, how are you? Second of all, are you stressed?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I came back from a good gym sesh, so I'm doing well. Had a quite easy day of work. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know, it's a big game on Sunday. I'm going to be out at the pub. Fingers crossed for it. I'm not going to do a watch long for it, but I'm not going to lie. I'm putting the editing side over the YouTube at the moment. I'm a bit all over the place.
Gotta do it, man.
May do a match reaction for the game though, but no, it's a big game, man, and I'm looking forward to it. Even with the injuries, man, I'm still confident, and obviously we'll talk about that a bit later. But I'm all good, and I'm actually really pissed off with myself, TJ. So I've actually gone ahead and booked a holiday for myself next week. So I'm going from next Sunday to the Friday after. I'm off to Spain. However, my flight is during the Man City Arsenal game, so I'm going to be missing the game. I mean, that's a really big game. I'm going to be missing it. So I just realised that a couple of hours ago. So it is what it is. But no, listen, I'm looking forward to that. So I get away from England. I'm sick of England. I want to get away from it.
Hey, I hear you.
But yeah, no, I'm doing good, man, and I'm looking forward to Sunday and getting this football back. And even with the injuries, I'm still confident. I am, and I'm stressed. Long term, yes. For this Sunday, not really, but long term, if these injuries are long, I mean, I've heard Odegaard could be out for a very long time. So,
yeah,
if these injuries are going to be long term, then yes, I am going to be stressed.
Yeah, I look. At the end of the day, we have 3 of our most difficult matches of the season right in a row, and you know it doesn't matter who they field at Tottenham. Tottenham away is always an issue. Atalanta is going to be a huge problem. They just won a European hardware. They're making a Champions League. This can't be their Champions League debut, right? But they haven't been in the Champions League for a while.
Yeah. I think it was it 2000s? When was Atalanta?
I don't remember the last time that they were in there, but it's been a while since they've been in the Champions League. And then we have to play Man City away, all without our captain, and we have to go to Tottenham away without Declan Rice.
2020. To answer your question, 2020.
Oh, really?
They've only ever been in Champions League 4 times in their whole.
Okay, that's why. Yeah. See, I don't have. Cam knows. Actually, you know what? Just because of that, I deserve.
You don't have the answers. DJ.
Do you have the answer?
You don't have the answer.
Tony, do you
don't
have
the answer?
You don't have the answer either.
You don't have the answer.
I didn't have the answer. I didn't have the answer about Atalanta.
He's hairy. He's hairy.
He's hairy. He's big. He's hairy.
Hey, yo. Oh, man. Big up to Warrior, by the way. I know he's in chat. Big up Warrior. When you timestamp stuff, I love it. The AOs that you timestamp were hilarious, man. It was so good.
Yeah. So if you don't know,
because Tony was talking for like a straight 5 minutes about ranting about something, and then Flores was like to Northside. It was like, so Northside, what's your 11? I don't care. I was just fucking dying. He's like, I don't give a shit.
I think he killed Northside, to be honest. Like I asked Northside. I was asking Northside. I'm like, dude, you don't live in like a high rise, do you? Because you look like you're about to jump out a window. like literally. This guy Tony, man, he was absolutely wild yesterday. Obviously, if you guys are not getting what we're saying, go over to Sarcasm City TV. Make sure you're subscribed to them. And if you don't get the hashtag Justice for Havertz tagline, you need to watch that show. It was absolutely wild. It was me, Don C, Northside. It was crazy. And by the way, Cam, I can't believe you weren't modded before, but you're modded now. What actually happened after you, dude? It was wild. Just go back and watch it. It's
funny, man.
It's wild. It's wild. And I heard a rumor that Cam might be coming back to that show next week, so that would be
there you go,
rad. But anyway, yeah, man. Like So how are you feeling about Tottenham? Honestly, like you alluded to it. We have enough to beat these scrubs. Like, I'm sorry, I'm talking with chest. I am not like I'll be apprehensive about going to Italy. I'll be apprehensive about going to Man City away. But Tottenham, man, they are garbage. And we got news today that Bentancur might not be available either.
And Basuma.
So Basuma's out. So that's a midfield of what? Madison, Bentancur's out.
Madison,
Sarr,
and probably Archie Gray.
And Archie, Archie.
It's shit. It's shit. Listen, I like. Do you know what? I'm not going to be a complete hater. I actually like Sarr. I think he's a decent little player. But Madison's off form. Archie Gray is just a kid. Like, you can talk to any like people like Sava, or you can talk even like Sava, Mari, Ash. They'd all know that it's going to be that case. This is not a good midfield, man. And I'm not even going to lie to you, TJ. I'm not even scared of this. Do you know what? I'll say this right here, right now. Clip it, do whatever you want with it. Son will not score on Sunday. I think even Son's been shit this season. No, I'm telling you right now. Even Son's been shit this season.
He's listening. He's watching.
His
translator just totally.
No, and I'll say it later on Jacob's channel. And I'm talking away with Mari. I'm going to say it later. Even Son's been shit this season. We have got to beat this Spurs team. I don't know who I was watching. Big up, by the way, because he is class. Don, on your show with Flawless last night, Don C.
Yeah, Don C's the man.
Facts. What a complete facts he was speaking. If we don't beat this Tottenham team, forget the league. Forget it. If beat this Tottenham side, even if we do go ahead and maybe possibly grab a point off City next week, next week, we've got to beat this Tottenham side. They are shocking. If Leicester can grab points off these guys, we can do the same. They've won against a crap Everton side, and that's it. We can beat these guys 1,000%. 1,000.
Yes. 100%, 1,000%, and as I've been clipped up saying before, 110%, baby. Clip that. I don't care. Speaking of we're talking about fact speakers, right? And me and this guy, we've clashed in the past, but we've never streamed. I think we've only streamed together like once on Sad's channel. But he asked for the link, and what am I supposed to say? No, he's too famous for me to say no.
He's famous, man.
Right?
He's too famous.
So making his TJ Warren TV debut, my guy, we got man like Hooks in the building. What's up? How you doing, my guy?
Hey, thanks for letting a peasant like myself come onto the big channel.
Give me a break.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And perfect timing for me to come in because you was just talking about Tottenham, yeah. Look, I've said this wherever I've gone this week, yeah. And it's like people just don't listen, yeah. I will never fear Spurs in my life. Never. Like I've seen people I've seen Arsenal teams with Senderos, Giroud, Denilson, Shamak. I've never predicted us to not beat Tottenham because they're Tottenham. We should be winning this game. Rice is out, Ødegaard is out. So what? It's Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you're right. If do you know what? I don't think it's necessarily that it's Tottenham. I think it's that if we can't win games that we need to win when our best players are out, then we don't deserve to win the league. Because we saw Man City without De Bruyne for how long last season? There were spells when Haaland was out. They still went on to win the league. We can't use it as an excuse. So, man, let's punch up some what are they, chickens? The fucking chicken on a beach ball, man. Yeah, punch them up, man.
Dude, I'm so tired of this narrative that we have something to fear from them. Their own fans know that they're done. Their own fans do. Like I was even Jacob, big up Jacob. We'll be on his stream later tonight. Jacob literally said at the Bentancur news. I think he's finally at the point where he's just like, oh yeah, so the clown show has started early this season. Like, because even he knows that they're in trouble, right? Like he'll never admit it. He will back his club, as Deji would say. But at the same time, like you got to believe that a midfield of Jorginho, who's experienced in these kind of game. Again, I need to see a lot out of Jorginho in this game. Partey will start, and then I would love to hear who you guys think will start in the 10. I think it's going to be Wanyeri. I think he's going to do it. But that's, in my opinion, the double pivot 6 alone should be good to stifle this attack. And honestly, Spurs attack isn't that good. Like other than Heung-min Son,
it's shit. They haven't got Solanke. Son's shit. He's been shit this season. I don't want to hear anyone tells me this. Apart from, do you know what? If Van de Ven starts, the only two people that worry me are the two.
He's injured too. You know, he's injured
as well. So that's Dragu's in at the back. Do you know what? And listen, big up to Jacob, right? Probably the only player that would probably worry me would be Christian Romero. And as much as I do think that our defenders are better than Romero and Van de Ven, but it's like but they're on this. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're shit. They're good defenders. They're really good defenders. I think they're better than Tottenham by a mile. They're better than Tottenham, those two. However, out of that whole 11, because obviously Slanky's out, that only 11 that probably will worry me would be Romero and Pedro Porro. I think even Udogi's out, isn't he? Udogi
is in, but he's just been shit this season.
But yeah, like for me,
he hasn't been good.
Romero
the high line has not been treating him well this season.
Are the only two that are going to worry me. But then again, that's on the attack, because look at the high line I play. Pedro Porro will worry me on the attack. Defensively, I think we'll be all right with him. I think we'll be able to deal with him when he's defending. Romero is the only one that will possibly worry me. But if there's no Van de Ven, Dragu's in. I don't think he's ready for the Premier League. Udogi, hit and miss. I think the midfield is cooked. I mean, I like Pepe Sarr. I think he's all right, but I think Maddison's off it. I think Archie Gray is just not ready for a game like this to be starting and to perform. And I think the front line's shocking. I think Kulusevski's mid. I think Son's had a poor start to the season. That's why he's not worrying me. But then again, it's the North London derbies. People are like, oh, well, he'll turn up. I'm like, I don't think he will. I don't think Son scores in this game. I don't think he does. I don't think Son scores in this game. I don't know whoever's going to go on the left.
When you say that, are you going to go on a limb and just say we're going to clean sheet him? Because honestly,
I think he will.
Honestly, I think
David Raya is going to hold it. We know what David Raya can do. And listen, let's hope and pray he doesn't do what he done last season, because last season he fumbled. And let's hope he's learnt from that. And we know how good David Raya can be in the back line as well. We've got a whole back line. Our back line's fine. I think we'll be sorted, because thank the gods, and hopefully it stays that way till Sunday. We've got a whole back line available. That's cool. I'm chilling. I.e., we'll have probably. I think Timber's available, so we'll have Timber at left back if that's the case. So I'm cool with that. I think we'll be fine there. It's just up front that I'm a bit worried about, but I think we're going to be all right, man. I really do think. And how am I meant to be worried about an attack of Brennan Johnson, Kulusevski, and Heung-min Son? I'm sorry. How? Do me a favour. I'm meant to be worried about that. Arsenal should be going there and tearing these guys up easily.
Our defense is actually better away from home as well. So we actually concede less away from home.
Yeah.
So yeah. Do you know what? Yeah. If Arteta goes with my starting 11, then we win the game 4-0, innit? That's only if he goes with my starting 11, innit? But
what's your starting 11? What's your starting 11? Don't keep us on pins and needles here.
So my starting 11, yeah. So in goal, Raya, yeah, standard stuff. You know, the back four, pretty standard. You know, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, pretty standard stuff at this point. I mean, I was thinking about Calafiori, but then he picked up a knock. Would I risk him 90 minutes?
I wouldn't put him in this game.
Yeah, I don't think. Maybe as a sub, but I wouldn't start him. Yeah. My midfield, yeah. And hear me out. Zinchenko and Partey, yeah, with Jesus in the 10. And then I would go Sterling on the left, Saka on the right, and Havertz up top. And that 11 punches up Tottenham into the ground.
Do you think that Zinchenko, like, what's your reasoning? Because we talked about this on Flawless' show yesterday. What's your reasoning for putting Zinchenko in the midfield? Because yeah, he does it for country, but he hasn't played midfield in the Premier League in 3 years, or 2 or 3 years, right? So do you think he still has that magic and it can his international work can translate to the Premier League still? I don't have a lot of confidence just because I've watched him give the ball away, inverting into the midfield so much lately. What makes you so confident?
So don't get me wrong, he does give the ball away quite more than I think any of us would like, right? But he usually gives it away when he's inverting into the midfield. That hence when we lose the ball, there's a space vacated where he should have been, right? Because he's inverting. But if he's playing in the midfield, that space won't be there. And I mean, look, I think his best qualities are on the ball. I think his best qualities are being creative. I think his best qualities are controlling the game from the midfield. And I think without the legs of Rice, we're going to have to play a game that we have the ball. Or at least when we have the ball, we keep it for as long as possible. And I think Zinchenko in the midfield would allow us to do that, because who else do we have legs-wise?
Well, look at last season, Hooks. Even when, I know we had Declan Rice in the team, right? But we held possession a lot of the time in that, even in that first half, you know? And I'm telling you right now, oh my God, if we perform the way we did in that first half for 90 minutes, we will slaughter them. We will slaughter them. And if you look at it, right? Now, listen, I know this is a massive statement to say. Last season, we had Odegaard and Rice. The whole team will be pretty much similar than what we had last season. Whether you put Sterling in over Trossard in the Tottenham away game. I think we're going to be, I'm going to be so pissed off if we drop points. I think I really like your 11 Hooks. I think it's good. People who are saying Timber in the 10, please stop smoking. I urge you.
Drugs are coming cheap wherever those people are from.
He played there a couple of times for Ajax or in the midfield where it was the 8 or something. Doesn't mean he's going to go ahead and do that. He's absolutely fine at left back, and I'll happily keep him at left back.
Wait, whoa, hold on, slow down a minute. I think he can play in a double pivot though.
What, in a DM role?
Yeah, because he can play in a double pivot.
Who'd you play
like if you just look at his quality
against Tottenham.
Yeah,
Who is left back?
It's not Liverpool. It's not Man City.
Oh, you mean the inverted role? When he goes inverted.
So okay, I'm saying that he can play in the 6, but we probably won't play him there because of Calafiori's knock.
Yeah,
but I think if Calafiori was 100% fit, we could play Calafiori in the left back and we could play Timber as a 6, which I would prefer.
Yeah,
Zinchenko in a double pivot, but because Calafiori is not 100% fit, that's why I have Zinchenko in the double pivot. But I would rather Timber there, because if you look at Timber's qualities as a footballer, you can easily see him playing.
Yeah, he's got the physical strength, in my opinion, and he goes forward well with the ball, so I could see that. Listen, the only thing that worries me is the depth on the bench, because we're gonna have a lot of kids on the bench on the weekend, right? We're gonna have a good couple of academy kids on there. That's the only thing that worries me, because you know what we're like. Sometimes in games, players just don't want to turn up, and they do want to have a bit of an off day. And the only worry factor is now, like if we had no injuries, our bench is pretty much all right, apart from up front. But our midfield and our defense is pretty stacked when it comes to our bench. If everyone was fully fit, this would have been fucking perfect if Marino was fit, man. But it would have been. But so that's the only bit that worries me. But then again, Tottenham have zero depth as well. So honestly, I think it's just going to be an out-and-out war, and the better team will prevail. And let's be honest here. And even Tottenham fans will. Well, I like to think most of them that have got a brain will know this. That Arsenal are the better team here, and Arsenal should be the team walking away with 3 points. I'm seeing people saying that Tottenham are now favourites. Are you really being serious? That Tottenham are now favourites? Seriously, I'm sorry. How is a Tottenham team with Archie Gray, fucking is Ben Davies going to play? I don't know. Fucking Dragu's in, Timo Werner, Kulusevski. Like how is that team gonna beat Arsenal because Odegaard and Rice are out? Honestly. Our midfield is still as good. Well, not as good, right? Because obviously Rice is rivals bang on say he's
let's be honest. Rice hasn't really been tearing up trees so far this season either.
He hasn't had a fantastic start to the season. So I think, and I trust the only bit that worries me about Jorginho is counter attack, because he's very slow. He is very, very slow. That's the only bit that he worries about. But like Hook said, if we hold possession, the balls over the top that man can produce are fantastic. If he can do them, then I'll be happy. And I'll be interested if do you know what? I am for Sterling starting. I'd rather have Trossard on the bench, because I think he's a better impact. I've learned now, as much as I love him and I want him to stay this season, I want him to go to Saudi in January, nothing like that. He is our super sub. And I hope he knows that. Because let's be honest, it's very rare when he gives us a start and he's a 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. But that's not a discredit. That's not a bad thing against him. I just think that's personal for me. He comes off the bench and bang, super sub, he'll get the game impacted. That's for me. So I like to see Sterling on the left or wherever, on the 10, wherever. And I think his pace, because I do still think he has a good bit of pace. I feel like that will offer more to our front line. Because I think Martinelli's been slacking. So I think it'll be nice to have him in the team. Hopefully that will work. And I do think defensively, especially when Tottenham are playing this high line, pace is going to be needed, and Sterling will be needed. So I do like the sound of him starting, in my opinion.
Do you know why?
I hold on real quick. Let me just take care of the super chat real quick, Hooks. Big up Dow for the super chat. He says 4-2-3-1, same back four. Timber J20, Partey front of the back four, Sterling, Trossard, Saka, and Kai up front. So Dow wants to see Trossard in the 10. Looks like and that wouldn't be too bad. He has played in that box to box role before. Yep. Wasn't absolutely terrible, but again, he didn't tear up trees either. Me and Dow are going to have a North London Derby preview on Saturday, people, so make sure that you guys tune in for that on the American Idiot Show. And but of course, big up Dow for the super chat, and big up anybody who helps support the channel financially. You make sure that Connor gets his weekly shipment of ramen, Marishawan dinners.
And we're doing hamburgers now. We're doing hamburgers.
Oh, he's hamburgers. He's hamburgers now. Okay, he's graduated to hamburgers. That's totally fine. But yeah, big up everybody inside, by the way. We got 18 inside. Make sure you smash the likes. There's everybody live right now. So the fact that you're here, we really, really appreciate it. Sorry, Hooks, I hit you midstream there, bro.
No, that's right, man. I was just gonna say, like, in regards to our depth here and our bench, I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people make out. Because if you think about it, with Sterling coming in, if Sterling starts, that means that both Martinelli and Trossard are on the bench. If Martinelli starts, that means both Sterling and Trossard are on the bench. If Trossard starts, that means Martinelli and Sterling are on the bench. Yeah. Trossard can play left wing, right wing, striker, and 10. Sterling can play left wing, right wing, false 9, and at a push, I think he can play in the 10. And then you got Martinelli, who can play left wing, right wing, and maybe with Sterling coming in.
No. I don't want to hear this centre forward bullshit. No.
I told you, Connor, I told you that this is a possibility. This is what I was cooking, baby.
This was bullshit. This was bullshit. He's training on I've seen fucking drone shots of him fucking training to be a 9. Do me a favor. He's a winger. He's a winger.
No. Think about it. Think about it. And obviously, no disrespect to Martinelli. You've been super dead this season.
Yeah.
But it's been not just this season. It's been for a while.
Yeah, it's been since the injury. Since the injury.
Yeah, since the injury, he's fallen off a cliff. Yeah. But if you think about it, as a striker, it's so much more simple for him. He doesn't need to think about the tactics, really. All he needs to know is, I need to make a run. Ball's in behind. Shoot. It simplifies his game so much. Like, I feel like what Arteta needs the left winger to do, his brain can't handle it. Like, he's just not that smart. You know,
I see what you're saying, because he runs a lot. He's a pace merchant, but he never picks his head up. I feel like sometimes he's afraid to pick his head up, to be honest.
Yeah. So, but I'm not saying 100% he has to play there. I'm just saying the options that we have from the bench. If Timber starts in the midfield, then you've got Jorginho on the bench, Zinchenko on the bench. If Timber starts left back, you've got Calafiori on the bench. You've got do you know what I mean? Like, we've got so many players that can cover different areas that really and truly, even though 2 of our best players aren't available and our new signing is out injured, if we need to change something, we are able to change something without really too much of a drop-off. And then you've got Wanyeri, who can come on. Some are saying potentially start. I hear it. I do hear it, because it's very clear that Arteta is building him up to be the next in line to Erdegaard's position. So if you get rid of Smith Rowe and you get rid of Vieira and Wanyeri still can't start, then I would ask, why did you get rid of Smith Rowe and Vieira.
Either, yeah, Smith Rowe more than Vieira, but no,
Yeah.
I completely understand what you're saying. And I mean, and anybody that watched the preseason, I mean, granted it was against Man United's dregs, but if anybody watched the preseason, when Yeri cooked, like he cooked. So I want to see maybe, and I was saying this last night, maybe this isn't the game for him to start. But if this Odegaard injury is going to be as long as it looks like it's going to be, I want to see him starting against Bolton. I want to see him starting against Leicester. I want to see him starting against I think we got Southampton after that. Exactly. Thank you. So I want to see him starting in these mid to low table games and seeing what we can do. He cooked. I still have not seen a better ball live than the ball that he delivered to Gabriel Jesus against Man United in LA. He can deliver the ball. He can place the ball. It's just, what is he going to do in these big games is the question. Go ahead, Connor.
And this is why I say it, right? And we've seen that the kid's got talent. The manager's seen the kid's got talent, and the backroom staff as well. And that is why, I do look back to that Arsenal versus Chelsea game in 2020 when we brought in Smith Rowe because we were riddled with injuries and we had no other option. So I believe, Arteta played Smith Rowe in that game and he absolutely cooked Chelsea in that game, right? Listen, I know Smith Rowe didn't work out for us. I know he's gone on to Fulham. I hope he does well at Fulham. He's a player that I always respect and always really like. Absolutely fantastic. Never could have done any wrong at Arsenal at all. It's just a shame that he couldn't get the game time and he's moved on somewhere else. However, you can't deny, listen, he wasn't the next, Bobby Charlton or something like that at Arsenal, right? He wasn't like the most out there player, the next Wayne Rooney, something like that. However, he did improve at Arsenal, and there were times where he was very crucial for us in games, and he did perform very well. He's definitely one of the players at Hale End that I can say, do you know what? He actually done pretty well. Not Nketiah, not Nelson. I generally think he came out of Hale End and he done pretty well for himself, and now he's at Fulham, and hopefully he cooks. I think Nwaneri can now be the next version of Smith Rowe, and I want him to be better than Smith Rowe. I want him to actually progress and be like a Saka, for example. And I think giving a player chances like this when we've got injuries, and he's the player to rely on, you like to think as a youngster, this is going to be a lot of pressure, but you know what club you play for. You know the what's the word? There's a word for it. It's good. There's a word I'm trying to use here. The stakes. Sorry, the stakes are going to be high.
Yeah.
You know what you're playing for. You know the game you're playing in. Give the player a chance. Listen, it might not work out, and I'll eat my words and I'll say, do you know what? I was wrong. But give the player a go, and if it works out, you never know. He could be a regular, maybe impact sub. Switch him up, starter, so in between games in the season.
Yeah.
Give him a shot. Why not? Because when else are we going to see him? Just in cup games? As much as I want to see him in the cup games, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, knowing this manager, we won't see him in many cup games because
that's the thing, but this is what I mean. If he gave Smith Rowe that chance against Chelsea in 2020 when we were riddled with injuries, and look what he done and look what he became for Arsenal. I was against the 10 shirt, but we moved from that. But listen, I want to see Nwaneri cook. I want to see him cook. I want to finally see some more Arsenal Hale End players come out into the 11, into the main first team, and really, really cook. I wanted people to eat their words about, we need these academy players. What's the point? What's the point of Hale End then? What's the point? We might as well
sell them to Man United.
Yeah, for nothing. To have them and then let them go for nothing.
He's not even the best one though. Like I don't know. I know.
What's the striker week? What's the striker week?
I imagine you went to all of the. Did you go to all of the preseason games?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the US, yeah, I did.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Yeah. To me personally, Miles Lewis Skelly looks ready.
Lewis Skelly looked good.
Ready. He is big. He is strong. He's good on the ball. He's confident. He's got that little bit of flair in him as well. And Arteta was teaching him the inverted left back role. Naturally, by trade, he's a midfielder. So to me, that means that Arteta is teaching him more the defensive side of the game, which only is going to help him develop more. So he's someone who could come into our midfield when certain players are out and do a job. And my star of the show out of the youngsters, even though he's not as young as them, Salah Radim.
Yeah, Salah Radim really stuck out in the preseason as well.
Pulled out so maybe even he's someone that could play in the 10. And when Odegaard's not there, because he's 20, I think he's 20. So he's not like He's not young.
Not like
but,
young.
Yeah. So like this is what I mean. Like our bench is not that bad. The only thing that we are missing is a 9. That's the only thing.
Do you know what it is? Do you know, there's an academy kid called he's in the academy called Kane Edwards. We've got his 9. He looks good, man. Like listen, he doesn't look as like he's not scoring goals every game, but he's got a good shot on him. I'd love to see him in a cup game, man. I want to see him get minutes because he's regular. He's a regular starter for the Arsenal Academy. He's in there every week, whether he's on the wing or he's up front in the number 9. Kane Edwards. If you don't know, if you're an Arsenal fan, if you don't know, give him a Google or YouTube him. He's a good youngster, man. He scored a double because I've been watching a couple things from this season's academy because that started. We kicked off against United in middle of August, and he bagged the brace, and he also bagged another goal against Sunderland the other week. I can't remember when it was. Really looks good. You know, I do. Listen, we got Bolton coming up, right? No disrespect to Bolton, they're dead. They're dead.
No, disrespect them.
Bolton Wanderers, and I'm not saying get all the kids out there, flurry them in. It's like to disrespect them. No, but I really I wish there was a way we can sort of integrate these players in more because you do look at Man City. You know, they do bring the odd player now and again into a random, like the odd academy kid that no one's ever heard of. They've got the 95 on their back, the 92, whatever random number they've got. You know, I'd really like to see a little bit more, but maybe I'm asking a bit too much. But it's a game against Bolton, you know, like. But the thing, do you know the reason why I want to see these academy kids more in an 11 in the first team, in whether that's in a cup game or what? Because you never know, they can make that impact, and the manager could see, do you know what? Damn, I want him in my bench. Could be a good impact. Do you know what I mean? So. That's the reason why I want him. But Kane Edwards, please do look him up because I think he's a good little prospect you've got in the team.
Connor, are you saying that you're trying to replace Kai Havertz in the 9? Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh, here we go. What's this?
It hurts. He can't even pick a decent pass. He doesn't look at the ball. He doesn't. No pass, nothing. No assist, useless. And then we criticize Kai Havertz. Why? Where's the fairness? Where's the justice?
Where's the justice, yo?
Where's the justice? Like this guy's been persecuted. He's been lifted up by this fan base. Like they literally call him King Kai. What are you talking about?
I don't understand why Tony always wants an argument.
You gotta justice for Kai. You know what I mean?
What justice is there? No, what justice is there? Like, listen,
how dare you?
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, we're joined by Kai Havertz's biggest lover here, by the way.
Whoa, there needs to be justice for Kai because you guys may have forgotten your behavior from last season. But I have not
forgotten.
You have not forgotten that one-on-one against Brighton.
I have not forgotten your behavior. I've not forgotten. Yeah. Now he's not.
Hooks, it was going so well.
No, but I'm sorry. Yeah. How much longer do we have? What more does he have to? I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you guys may not be aware of this, but not every striker is clinical. That clinicality is something very rare to find in a striker. Like, I would even go as far to say the only clinical striker in the Premier League, and even he still misses chances, is Haaland.
But he's not really a 9, though, is he, Hooks?
What Haaland does...
Haaland has 2 hat-tricks in a row.
Is Havertz a born and bred number 9, Hooks? He isn't. He's more of a 10, isn't he?
Okay, he may not be a born and bred.
Because I swear at Leverkusen he was a 10, right? He was a 10.
At Leverkusen he was a 10. I think he played on the week as well. But for someone who is not a born and bred number 9, his numbers are better than people in the league who are born and bred number 9s. So I think we just need to get past the fact, that he's not clinical. I think people hang too much on that. He's just not clinical. There's been loads of strikers over the years that have played in the Prem that have done well that are not clinical. I've seen some of the best strikers in the world miss some of the easiest chances. We just need to get past this. There's other things to his game, which is why he was signed, which is why he is now the vice captain of Germany. Hello.
Do you know what it is? I think he gets more stick because he's the main 9 at the club now. Like Jesus has lost that. He's lost that. I think if we had a Gyökeres, right, or whoever it was, Tony Osimhen, whoever, if we had that, I don't think Havertz would get as much stick. But because we rely on him
because
so
he
much,
wouldn't be in the spotlight.
But it's not even. Well, yeah, that's true. But it's not even like it's the fact that we have to rely on him, Hooks. We have to. Like he's one. Like even with Saka, like Saka still gets stick now and then if he doesn't perform. He's gonna have to. And it's a tricky situation, right? Because not in a shit way, but he needs to be the player that we're gonna have to rely on every single week. You're number 9 in your team. Whoever you are, whether you're in the Premier League, League 2, the National League, your 9 is one of your most crucial parts of your team. And listen, Havertz probably didn't expect to be put in this situation where he was going to be the main 9. I don't know what he was expecting to do when he was to join Arsenal, but he's in a predicament now where we're going to have to rely on him against Spurs, against Man City, against Atalanta. Whether we rotate, I don't know. But because he's the main 9, we're going to have to rely on him, and he's going to have to take criticism. Being the main 9 at a club like Arsenal, you're going to have to be on point. You're going to have to. And listen, it's just the way the cookie crumbles that he's in a situation where he is the main 9. We didn't go ahead and buy a proper 9 in the summer. So he is in that situation now where he has to play as the main 9. And he is going to get stick if he doesn't put it away. But it's based on the fact that he is the guy we are relying on to get the main amount of goals. And listen, we do rely on Saka as well. He plays a part. Odegaard as well plays a part. So we do rely on other players, but the fact that you're the 9, you're going to get more stick than the others. But that's just down to the fact that we don't have a proper number 9 in the club, in my opinion.
In 3
Last
games,
point on this, and then we got to move on to Arteta. Sorry.
Yeah.
In 3 games, he's got 3 GA. So
I'm not shitting on Havertz.
Like, so I'm just saying. Sometimes I feel like the criticism is a bit over.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Let's see how the season develops.
But you got to admit, he should have had a better version on that 1-on-1 with a better ghoster at that 1-on-1 against Brighton. Come on,
he should. But I've seen Henry miss 1-on-1. So
come on, Hooks.
Okay, that's a comparison. No, last point I'm going to make on Kai Havertz is, look, if you want the spotlight, you got it, and we expect to win the league. So we expect you to finish those one-on-one chances that you're presented with against soon-to-be mid-table teams. Sorry, Brighton is not going to stick up there for as long as they are. They've done very, very well through their first 3 games, but they are still a mid-table team with not a lot of recognizable names on them. So we have to be finishing them. The fact that we drop points against that team we could end up regretting that at the end. So, with the spotlight comes responsibility. So I'm with you, Hooks. I get you. It remains to be seen if he can continue to produce like this, but he's not consistent enough for me. So he's going to continue to get stick until he proves me differently. That's all. Speaking of consistency, well, actually, before I get into that, I got a couple of questions here. TJ said, Acers, big up Acers. He says, get Dirty Dom Mysterio, aka Jacob, on for a preview. We'll be doing a preview on United Spurs of America tonight. Go over there and tune in. We got me, we got Connor, we got Deji. We got I think who else is going to be joining us? Oh, and Northside will be there too. It's going to be a riot. So go over there, dude. I'm getting I'm sending my wife out of the house for that one. Like, it's going to get wild.
Yeah, you're probably good idea.
I'm not going to lie. Anthony Herbert says, big up TJ. So we give Arteta a 3-year contract for what exactly? Can somebody please explain it? And I'm going to give the guest the first shot at this. Hooks, 3-year extension for Arteta. He's won us 1 FA Cup, 2 Community Shields, got us back into the Champions League. Is he the guy to take us forward?
I don't know. That's a lot. I feel like it's a loaded question. Do you know what?
Yeah, of course it's a loaded question. That's the question that everybody's trying to answer, though.
I don't know. It's not. For me, it's not a black and white matter personally. Like, there's a lot of gray area. So, do I think he should have gotten the contract? Yes, but for this reason, is that say we get to the end of the season and we hadn't offered him a contract, and let's just say he has a crazy season. Let's just say he wins the treble. It doesn't matter if you think it's going to happen or not. Let's just say he wins the treble. Yeah.
Okay.
Real Madrid might go, you know what? Forget about Alonso. We've just seen Arteta win the treble. Let's try and tap him up. He will be out of contract. we don't have the power. As a club now, we don't have the power. It's out of our hands. Arteta has the power. So from the club's perspective, I think it's good to offer him a contract. So you now have the power to decide your fate, right? So now he's on a 3-year contract. So if he does win a treble, whether you think he will or not is irrelevant. Let's just say he does. Come the end of the season, Real Madrid cannot tap him up because he's contracted for another 3 years. So we are retaining our asset. It's a business move.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, I understand it. I think the timing is really weird to announce it. I think the timing is really weird. You've now put a lot of pressure onto Arteta that you didn't necessarily need to do, because you've just announced to the world that you back this guy, even though all he's won us is an FA Cup and 2 Community Shields, going into Tottenham away, Atalanta away, Man City away. So these are kind of games that we don't want to be losing. Do I think he's the guy that can lead us to glory? Yes. Do I think he's the right man for the job? To be seen. Like, I am of the camp that if we go trophyless again this season, he's got to go. Like, we have to give him the P45, because I can't sit around much longer not winning anything.
Last season was Hooks' last chance, man. He was like, "Fuck this now. I'm done waiting."
Yeah, I can't, man.
No. Yeah, this is a completely different Hooks than
Hooks was like, end last season, he was like, "Fuck it." After Everton, he was like, "Fuck this."
And this is and here's the thing is that I think as Kenny would say, Kenny Ken, big up Kenny Ken. He says the worm is starting to turn a little bit in the fan base. I still think that like we were here last season to where he needs to win something or he needs to go. I'm still in that camp. Like I'm glad that he wins games pretty consistently, but he makes like we were 2 or 3 bad decisions away from winning the title last season and the season before. So that's kind of what I'm thinking is look, like we can't accept this any longer. So where I get frustrated and where I think the rest of the fan base gets frustrated is we're essentially rewarding failure. Like what this tells me is that we aren't taking into consideration his performance this season, and we're just going to give him that cushion. Yes, I understand where you're coming from the contract situation and being able to kind of manage where he goes, where he doesn't go, things like that. But it gives him more time, more money, more trust from the board. You can see that the Cronkies still trust him. He's still buddy with them. And honestly, it just doesn't scream ambition to me if we end up winning nothing for the 5th year of his tenure. And a lot of people don't want to say that because of positive vibes and, let's go tifos in the ground. It's not ambitious to me, and I'm not going to get all screaming and shouty about it because I feel like I'm going to end up getting screaming and shouty over the next 2 or 3 games anyway. But at the end of the day, man, like we got to show ambition at some point. And if we don't make that change after a 5th consecutive season of not winning any major honors, then we're showing that we're the banter club that everybody says that we are. And big up Matchday Guru real quick. I want to hit this super chat before I go over to Connor. Yeah, big up Matchday Guru every single time. He says, big up TJ, Connor, and Hooks. How long till we hold the ownership and board accountable? Well, that's really up to the fan base, in my opinion. Like, back in 21 when we started abysmally, and we had an Amazon documentary recording all of it, people were holding them accountable then, and then they ended up turning it around. So, it remains to be seen. There's only so much I can do over here as an American YouTuber, but until people start protesting, stop going to games, it's not going to happen. And while we're winning games as consistently as we are, it's not going to happen. But that's just my opinion. Connor, what do you got, man?
Connor, just quickly.
Go ahead.
Before you go, yeah. So I genuinely believe that the Cronkies, especially Josh, believe that Arteta will be able to win us the major trophy, right? And I think that the board are showing a certain level of ambition, and obviously, no offense to Americans, because I got my own American heritage, but Americans are dreamers. Americans are dreamers, and the way Americans view sports is very different to how.
That is true.
Well, do you know what? And sorry, perfect representation. Listen, big up Stefan, man. But whenever he brings up fucking was it hockey that he talks about to you, TJ?
Yeah, he always brings up the Avalanche.
Oh, but they got to wait 8 years for this. I'm just like, oh, just shut up, man. Comparing hockey.
Well, no, it doesn't translate. And here's the thing: is it's like he's not American. He's Bulgarian, so they must dream extra hard out there in Bulgaria.
It's like us comparing football to American football. It's like doing that.
Yeah,
it's like
it's not the same thing. It's not the
same structure.
compare
a sport to another sport, really. Like, imagine I compare fucking golf to tennis. Like, it's like just the math ain't mathing, bro. Like, each sport has their different aspects, and I completely agree.
But I feel like this is why they are being ambitious, because we've seen them with their hockey team.
Win. Yeah,
we've seen them
majors.
With their NBA team.
We haven't won in 3 years, by the way.
You support the team that the Conquerors own, don't you, TJ?
Oh yeah, no, that was my first. That was my first sports love, the Colorado Avalanche. I'm obsessed.
Yeah, and I support the Denver Nuggets. They won the championship. Like, so what I'm trying to say is okay, yeah, they're not perfect. I'm not saying that they're not perfect, but I don't think that any ownership is perfect. And I think that Roman Abramovich and the city owners now have kind of made people not quite get that it's very normal for a team to not win something every year. Like, there's been many seasons where even before the Kroenkes, I saw Arsenal not win things. Even early in Wenger's years, there were seasons where he didn't win anything, but then the next season he would win something. And that's what we're trying to get back to. I just feel like Man City has kind of messed things up a bit in terms of people's perspectives. Yeah. And people that use Real Madrid as some sort of barometer, especially Arsenal fans, I think are weird, because Arsenal have never been Real Madrid. Like, Arsenal's standards have never been at the same level as Real Madrid. So why in our worst time, arguably our worst period, are we now using Madrid as a barometer when we've never been Real Madrid? So all in all, win me something, because I want to do this.
Well, no, exactly. And I want to show my sweaty ass armpits too. But, and you make a good point about Real Madrid. Look, they have an institution of winning. It's a completely different league. They get the pick of the litter every single time. They're a federally owned club. Let's be honest. Like, I get what you're saying, where you're comparing the two, but I'm a one-man club. Or a one club man, so I don't cheer on Real Madrid. It doesn't really even matter to me. But hold on real quick. Big up Sarcasm City for the raid. You don't have the answer, TJ. And you know what? Here's the thing: is I don't have the answer, and Tony
you don't have the answers, TJ.
Do you have the answer?
You don't have the answer,
Tony. Do you
don't
have
the answers?
You don't
TJ.
have. I don't have the answers, and that's a big up Flawless every single time for the raid. You guys, big up, and make sure you're smashing the likes. Make sure that you are subscribing to the channel as well. But at the end of the day, we have to eventually hold the club accountable, right? Like that's the thing, is we have these world-class players, or at least I'm told that they're world-class. We have world-class potential in here, let's just say, right?
Yeah, that's the way I hate.
So we have, so we have, no, and there's a lot of people in the fan base, we can.
They call our whole 11 world class. Because they play FIFA and they're 12. That's why.
Exactly. Well, and big up my guy Egal, but you got Egal out here making combined 11s with Real Madrid.
No,
that's a video. No. But that it shows the mentality of the wider fan base. Look, I like Egal. He's a nice guy. We just differ on our perspectives, right? So, but it's fans like that gas up this team and gas up this manager that will keep them in the job. Whereas eventually, Bukayo Saka, Saliba, Gabriel, these players that are just on the edge of world class will start looking in other directions if we don't start winning things. And because at the end of the day, they have their careers to look out for too. So, they may believe in Arteta right now. Go ahead.
People seem to think that they're going to be here forever. I swear on my life, if we don't win something this season, Saliba's gone. I'm telling you right now, Saliba's gone next season.
No. I think we've got minimum 2 more.
We got 2 seasons.
I'd be surprised. Hooks, I'd be very, very shocked.
You know what? Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, that's good about Arsenal backing Arteta again. Is whatever we may think about Arteta, the players love him. All of the players love him. So they may be dissatisfied at not. Or I don't think dissatisfied is the right word. Maybe
I don't think Trossard loves him, but
oh yeah, by the celebration.
No, I mean I'm talking more about the younger crop of players. Disappointed that we're not. They may be disappointed that we're not winning trophies, but they all believe in him and his ability to get them to a level where they can win things. So I feel as long as he is there, a lot of our key players will stay at Arsenal. I think it's actually more likely that if we sacked him at the end of this season and then we brought in ex-manager, whoever it is, and they had a god-awful, dreadful season, I think it's more likely they would leave after that.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing is I don't think definitions of truly awful are different. Like I would say a truly awful would be us dropping out of the Champions League spots at this point and with this talent in the team. But I don't think that will happen just because there's too much talent in the club right now to allow that to happen. I mean, and Arteta is a good enough manager to keep us up there. But again, we've watched these players develop into, PFA award-winning players. And, I don't necessarily even rate that because it doesn't translate to major honors, but it does show how individually skilled these players are. And, Odegaard, he has issues with consistency, but when he is consistent, he is one of the best players in the world at his position. I do believe that. My problem with him is that he's not consistent enough. Bukayo Saka, again, I think he's one of the greatest. I think he's one of the best right wingers in the world. I would say top 10 easily. But at the end of the day, he's not consistent enough. Last season, he wasn't consistent enough. Yeah, he got the GA, but who did he get the GA against? Like, there are so many factors that come into this, right? And we had the best defense in the league last season. But again, if it doesn't translate to winning competitions, what does it matter? What does it matter?
Good.
I don't entirely agree with that point specifically.
How dare you? How dare you?
I'm not someone who's like trophy or nothing because I don't view. I don't view football that way. Because if that's the case, I might as well not watch my club play and only wait and watch them when there's a chance for us to win something. So I might as well wait till we get to a final and then watch that game. Like football is so much more than just what you win at the end of the season. Like I know people don't really like the words journey, but it is a journey.
No. You want to watch your team progress. I mean, look at Klopp under Liverpool. That was a whole journey and story. That was a fantastic story. What they went ahead and done. What they brought that team, which was shoddy and shit when he walked in. The defense was awful. The whole team. There was only a couple. I think Coutinho was in the team when he joined. Trying to think who else was there that was actually pretty decent. It was very minimalistic. There was very barely anything that was really good about that side at the time. Gerrard. There was very, very minimalistic what was good.
Carragher was there, right? Carragher?
No.
Carragher was gone.
No, that was way good. That was 2012. That was years ago. But that's what I mean. There was a journey. Of course, you want to watch your team progress, and we've done that with Arteta. Whether you like him or not, I'm 50-50 with him. Whether you like him or not, we've watched this.
You can't deny that. You can't deny that.
Yeah, let's not take the piss here. As Roy Hodgson once said, let's not take the piss here. We have seen a quote unquote journey. He's brought in players who are now at the beginning weren't really known. They weren't the most well-known, fantastic players in the world of football. Some of them he's now brought in, and ones that have already established themselves, and he's made a bloody good starting 11 with them, and some of them off the bench as well. Has he completely finished the squad? No, because I feel like we should have brought in a 9 in the summer and maybe a little bit more depth on the bench. But that, hearsay, if he wins a trophy, he's more than welcome to do that next season, right? Because I really want to win a trophy this season. But I think we're now past the process of the journey bit now. That, for me, has been done. We're now onto the part of the journey where we need to win trophies, in my opinion. This has to now be the point of time where we need to win now. For me, guys, I haven't given. Sorry, I didn't give my point earlier on Arteta's new contract. For me, it's a waste of time if we don't win anything this season. It's a waste of time. We need to win a trophy this season.
Well, it's a waste of time and it's a waste of money. Well, no,
it's a waste of time and it's a waste
of money.
Look, what are you laughing for? Why are you laughing? It's a waste of time, bro. This guy, look at this guy, man. It's a waste of time if we don't win a trophy this season. Hooks, please. You go on now, and you agree with me. If we don't win a trophy this season, it's unacceptable, right?
Yeah, it's unacceptable.
You know, so for me, it's a waste of time. If we don't win a trophy this season, then what we're gonna have to do another 50-50, you know, next season. If he wins a trophy, he stays. You know, like I'm done with it now, man.
But I personally think that if we go trophyless this season, I think that he will walk at the end of the season. I feel like he's that.
I hope he does, especially what he said at the end of last season, and I respected that. And I respected that from him, by the way. You know, I'm a big critique of Arteta. The fact he came out and wasn't like, "Oh, thank you, sir. It's been a fantastic season. You know, we've been the best defense. We scored so many goals. Thank you." He went out and said, "This isn't good enough.
Yeah,
we shouldn't be this happy. We shouldn't be this happy." And I fucking respected that. So I hope he sticks to his word. And do you know what else I hope he does this season, guys? I hope he wins not just fingers crossed the Premier League, because I feel like we could still do that if we really wanted to put our heads down, go ahead and do it because of what we'd achieved last season. Yes, a 9. But if we had a 9, I'd have guaranteed said, bang, I think we can do it this season. I like to think we're going to still be up there. Hopefully we go ahead and do it. But we have got to win a cup this season. I want to win the FA Cup. This team is more than good enough to win an FA Cup. Easily in a knockout competition, these players can win a cup. By far, in my opinion. 100%. So I hope Arteta, with those words he said at the end of last season, takes these cups seriously. Because Pep takes them seriously. Klopp took it seriously last season. You know, like let's not take the piss with these cups now. Yes, I'm saying let's bring in Ranieri and this and that in the games against Bolton. But that's against Bolton. This team is good enough to go ahead. But this team is good enough to go ahead and win a cup now. It's as simple as that. The FA Cup is meant to be Arsenal's cup. Man United are now one behind us. If they go ahead and do another madness this season, they could go ahead and win it with Ten Hag. They've proven it in 2 seasons, and we don't want that. Let's make it our trophy again. We're the reason we're in debates and we're saying we've got 14 FA Cups. We've got the most. Let's keep that thing going, but not just the FA Cups. Hopefully we can go ahead and progress to win a major this season. However, without the 9, my hopes are a bit lower. But I'm going to keep optimistic. But yeah, I've talked too much now. My fucking chest is hurting. Shit.
Well, we got to wrap up here in a minute because I got to get back to work. But yeah, Hooks, any final thoughts on this Arteta situation, and then give your prediction for the North London Derby this weekend, my friend.
Final thoughts on this Arteta thing. I just want to see him do well. I'll be honest, like
we all do, I think.
Yeah, we all do. Deep down, we all do.
Yeah, like part of me would feel bad if he left and then the manager right after him won, because he's done so much of the groundwork. Like he had to go through so much of the grit and the Gotham City to get to where we are. For him to not win something major, I think it would be a massive disservice to all of the good work that he has done. But I do feel like we're at a point now where we need something. Like
100%.
Yeah, just something. Like give us something to make us all believe that what you've built can go on to continue to win more things. Just give us that belief, and then we're right behind you. So I feel that's where I'm at with this Arteta stuff. In terms of a prediction, do you mean like a scoreline prediction or what?
Yeah, scoreline. Give me a scoreline. Give me a scoreline.
You know what? I'm going for a cheeky 3-0. So I'm going.
Woo! 3.
Tell him.
I love it. Tell him, Hooks. Tell him, Hooks. I'm just telling you, my guy. Cheeky.
You know what,
Go ahead.
This is how I think the game's gonna go. Yeah, they're gonna do this whole, oh yeah, we keep possession, we dominate the ball, are we controlling the game? And then they're not gonna be able to break us down for 60 minutes. We're gonna catch them on the break, score a goal. Then they're gonna lose their minds because their mentality is dead, because they're Spurs. They'll get a red card. We'll score another goal, and then we'll score another goal.
Big up Hooks every single time. He's going 3-0, 1 for every 100 subscribers this guy has. So big up halftime Hooks. If you guys have not subscribed to Hooks, my friends, You guys need to go over there. Do it right now. His link is in the title, people. So make sure that you guys go and subscribe to him. I'm trying to convince this guy to do live streams. He's doing videos right now, but we'll get him there. We'll get him there. Don't worry about it. Connor.
Yes.
Take us out, my friend.
I know obviously I'm on 2 Tottenham shows later now, so fucking predictions all over the place. I'm going to stick with my words and I'm going to stick with what I'm saying. I'm going to go with 2-0. But I do think in terms of the game, I think we're going to dominate them. I think we're going to absolutely dominate them. This high line bullshit, it's who we are, mate. We're going to absolutely kill them. Kill them. I'm telling you right now, a team with Archie Gray and Dragus in does not scare me. It doesn't. And Timo Werner or Brennan Johnson. It doesn't scare me or worry me in the slightest. Also, forgot to pick it out earlier, Vicario has looked shaky. Shaky. So keep that in your mind as well. 2-0. I think we're going to go ahead and do it. Take 3 points out of them. Even the Spurs fans are shitting themselves. They're like, come on, man. By the way, the real Spurs fans, not the ones that say, oh, you know, we've got our Spurs back, whatever they say. They're in the shit. They are in the shit. They're in the absolute mud. And we're going to mud them even more, TJ. Because you know what? We're going to do the double as well this season. The double. And you know what? I can't wait to speak to Digi Spurs later. I can't wait to speak to Jacob later. I'm going to humble them. I'm going to humble Jacob and
It's going to be wild. It's going to be wild.
They haven't got their Tottenham back because we're going to make them remember why they don't have their Tottenham back, because Arsenal are going to come back to White Hart Lane and absolutely feather them, destroy them, do anything possible to absolutely ruin their chances of even seeing Europe this season. 2-0 Arsenal. 2-0.
If you want to hear my prediction, go over to United Spurs of America tonight. There will be absolute pandemonium. We got Dirty Dom, aka Jacob, Deji Spurs. You got me, Connor, and of course Northside, who I'm going to send you to right after this. So go over there and say TJ Warren TV Ray. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Make sure you're subscribed to Hooks. Make sure you're subscribed to Connor. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel, and we will see you next time. Later.